Welcome to Art Talk Tuesdays. My name is Damon Powell. I consider myself an artist and a theologian. I have a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree in illustration and design, and I also have a PhD in African American art, theology, and aesthetics. The purpose of these talks is just to kind of educate you a little bit first and foremost about my work and the kind of pieces that I'm creating, and also to educate you a little bit about how to evaluate and look at art so that many people can understand it a little bit better. So having said that, we're going to jump right in. This piece that I'm talking about today is called Moonlight Blues, and I think that's very appropriate given what's happening right now. We're moving out of the darkness of winter and into the light and the new rebirth of spring. And this piece is based upon such an event in my life. I was in a very dark period for about 4 months. I couldn't create anything, I couldn't write, I couldn't do anything. I was just really in a dark place. And as I began to recover and began to see the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak, and move into the own spring of my life for that particular season, this piece was birthed. There's a triple entendre going on here with this piece. First, there's the idea that I was inspired partially by the blues by B.B. King, particularly the song Every Day I Have the Blues. Then we also have the use of the color blue, so we have a monochromatic palette here. Everything is in just one color. And then also this whole idea of feeling blue and feeling down and moving through that period of darkness or being depressed. And so that's what this piece is about. I'm going to jump right in and start with the background here. If you look particularly at the background, you see that there is a fade from dark to light here, and that fade creates a sense of atmosphere and pushes the eye back. As you go down, you see it seems to fade as if you're looking out into the distance past the figure here. We go down here to the ground that the figure is on. This is very indistinct, and I wanted it to be that way. It could be a blanket or a sheet that she's sitting on, or it could also be out at the beach. It could be some sand or some dirt. We really don't know, and I wanted to leave it that way, to leave it very ambiguous. And then also as we go into the figure here, we see that everything is blue. There's pretty much mostly darks, but then a few highlights I put in here and there just to kind of bring some of the particulars of the figure out here. We see the hip, the waist, some of the shoulder here, just to kind of bring that out. We see that the figure is in a kind of passive state. I didn't want it to be passive as in lying down, but passive as in contemplative, passive as in not a situation where they would evoke a lot of interest on your part here, because the emphasis is not on the figure's body, but on this area here, which we'll talk about last. So we see the figure. You can tell the figure has a hand that is going across here. As you see, there's just a couple of fingers indicated. I want to leave a lot for the eye to fill in. The mind likes to put patterns together and put things together. So when we leave things indistinct, your mind will actually begin to search for the pattern and begin to figure that out. So I don't have to do a lot of work in this piece and just let you kind of bring your own interpretation, your own eye to put the things together that need to be put together. If we look at the head here, this head is probably about twice as large as any person's head would be on this body. This is not a head that would fit on an actual body, and I did that on purpose. Everything I do has a reason. And so as I'm composing my images, I think very carefully about how I want things to be and how I want things to fit together. So the head is very large, and we see that the face is in silhouette, and I did that on purpose because I wanted to create a sense of thought, of pensiveness. The figure looks as if it's in contemplation, and that's what I wanted this to be about, because many times when we're depressed, when we're upset, everything seems flat. There are no sharp edges to our life, to our experience. Everything is kind of flat and dull. So I wanted to kind of create that experience in this piece without being too direct. Everything is very subtle. Blue is a very subtle color most of the time, so I wanted to kind of give that impression with the piece here. Also, the hair. You see the hair is big hair. The hair is also left unkempt. If you're very depressed, many times people don't get up, they don't put their clothes on, they don't do other things for self-care that they would need to do. So I wanted to kind of give a hint of that by using the hair. Also, the hair mimics the indistinct lines here created around the shape of the moon in the figure. If you would look at this image closely, you would see the moon is very indistinct, and it's not a complete circle. It's actually very ragged and round, and I left it that way on purpose to give that kind of indistinct quality, to let everything kind of just blend a little bit together. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Also, the moon in itself is a kind of an illusory thing. If we look at the tarot, in the tarot, the moon card is about breaking through illusion and seeing through illusion. I wanted to have that quality in this kind of work, because really when we are sad and depressed, it is basically an illusion. There may be legitimate things that we're upset about, but trouble doesn't last always. We know that things will get better, even if at the time we don't feel as if it will ever get better. It does. So that is an illusion itself, that we allow ourselves to stay down that way. So I wanted to kind of give that illusory quality about this. Also, when we're looking at the moon also presents an illusion to us, because the moon doesn't have its own light. It reflects the light of the sun. But when we look at the moon, we automatically, without knowing that scientifically, we automatically think, oh, the moon light. And there is no such thing as moonlight. It's just a reflection. So that in itself is an illusion. The light from the moon also has a very silvery quality, kind of indistinct quality. So I have flecks of silver throughout this piece. Even in the figure here, in the hair, there are flecks of silver, kind of giving it that idea of moonlight, kind of just trickling down upon the figure. So that's what I'm doing here with this piece, Moonlight Blues. If you're interested in purchasing the piece, the value of this piece is $1,200. It comes matted and framed just as you see here, ready to go. I also have prints available ranging from $25 to $90, and you can order your print framed and matted so that when you get it at your house, all you have to do is put up your nail and put it on the wall. Hope that this was helpful for you. I will talk to you next week. God bless.